We just close your eyes for a few minutes, shall start. Sahanavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Viddushavavahe Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay, friends, so I hope you have thought over the ideas that we shared in the last class. And the point that we saw about the assets, I had requested you that when you go back home, you make the list of all your assets. Those of you you went back, made the list of it, try to think over it. You are different people because you shall really know you will be knowing about it. Appreciate it. Those of you who heard but never did anything, now when you come back to the class or come back to listen it, then you are thinking, oh, I said, you shall not have the thrill of anything at all. Because this is the type of person, there is a huge difference between you are discovering it for yourself and you are knowing the right answer but not knowing how to reach it. Day before yesterday, I had a nice, beautiful riddle. Somebody sent it to me. So many lines. Many of you might have seen it. Many different lines. All look like straight lines, squares, rectangles. Very distinct, very powerful, very, I know something, these forms, these type of rectangles, on the sort of the squares, you cannot miss it. Very fat line, very thin line, you cannot miss it. Looking at it, I was wondering why somebody has sent it to me. So the next line came up, please find the circles in this drawing. Circles? How? These are all straight lines. Distinct straight lines, fat straight lines, distinct designs of squares, rectangles. How? Where? And what type of circle it will be there? It's just only maybe 1 inch. And can somebody switch off that telephone? Think, please. So what happens? So there is a circle there, if you say 1 inch by 1 inch, what type of circle you can have in that? And how many circles? You cannot. Then I tried my best, looked at it. I said, because the person has told, so let me see. First 5 minutes I could not discover, I couldn't make it out. How can there be a circle in this? Suddenly, as I am looking at it, because I had seen a book some 15 years back illusions. There will be hundreds of beautiful small drawings will be there. The drawing will be just nice designs. But if you look at it in a particular way with your eyes a little squinty, there shall be suddenly one animal coming out of it. There is a tiger, there is a giraffe, there is a, so many pyramid. Something somewhere will be hidden in that picture. I said, okay, let me try that. So I tried to close my eyes a little bit and start looking at it. Suddenly, one circle came, and those circles are 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 16 circles were there. I couldn't believe it. I said, oh my God. Immediately I sent it to all the students, whoever. Many of you might have received it. Many of you don't send it because everybody doesn't like this. They may not like it. So whomsoever possible, I sent it off. Then I told, please find out the circles. 94-95% people send back, there is no circle. Somebody is pulling a fast one. Very rarely one person said, I tried, Swamiji, wow, there are 16 circles. 4 to 5 people, out of I might have sent it to 150, 200 people, I might have sent it. From among that, only 5 to 6 people sent back 16 circles. Then somebody, is there any more? I said, no, you have done the job. There are 16 circles. Now think of it. Now you know the answer. Suppose your friend now, after I spoke to you, suppose you see that particular riddle for the first time. Somebody sends you. What shall you say? Ah, beautiful. This is what Swamiji is talking about. Let me look. You look, but you don't find it. Because it will not happen for everybody's eyes. It will not. Because some type of adjustment you have to make. Most people will give up in a minute. And people don't have that type of leisureliness. They just look at it, oh, it's not coming. No, it's not there. I don't see anything there. Maybe not to see the circle is the solution. That's what they will think. So they will not see it. But they know now that the answer, Swamiji has told, 16 circles. So suppose their friend asks, hey, did you see it? Yes, 16 circles. Many will bluff. They have not seen. But they don't want to be seen as people who never saw. So they will repeat it out. 16 circles. Answer is correct. Thrill of discovery shall never be there. Philosophy department, studying the Shastras. Who are you? Brahman, absolute consciousness, Ishvara. Happiness, infinity. When a philosophy student, learning different type of logic and analysis, he can give you the right answer, but the thrill of discovery will not be there. The person must see it for himself. Understand, friends? This is what something you must see it for yourself. What is the highest peak in the world? You know it is Everest, 29,000 plus feet height. So, have you been to the peak of the mountain, seen the vista from that, the top, the highest point of this world? What is the costliest diamond in the world? Maybe the Kohinoor, maybe something. Have you seen it? Do you own it? No. So there is a difference between you knowing the right answer, making the right noise, and discovering, being yourself. So when I said, please go back home, try to make a list of your things which are the greatest asset. What are your great assets? Those of you who have done it, then you shall see there is a difference between the assets that you have, your land that you have, your house that you have, your vehicles that you have, those are the material assets. Then your physical body that you have, that is your asset. Not many people can believe that body is an asset. No. Because we think car is an asset, bank balance is an asset, land is an asset. But not many people are used to think that body is also another asset, just like any material asset. Your eyes are an asset because without eyes you cannot see. Your ears are not an asset because without which you cannot hear. Are you getting that point, please? Your stomach is an asset. Every organ in this physical body is an asset without which you cannot function. So those are the assets. So what is the greatest asset? If you look at it, shall I say the land outside, the house outside, the cars outside, my physical body, my different sense organs, my hands, legs, excretory organs, my brain. Or so then again somebody shall say, no, my thoughts are my assets. Education. My education is my asset. Everybody uses their asset. You use your land, you sell and purchase your land. You sell and purchase your vehicles. You sell and purchase your physical body. How can you say sell and purchase my body? You do. Your physical strength. You go you go for working in a field, in an office, anywhere. Physical work. Body is an asset. You are changing it to different types of assets. Your sense organs are an asset. Eyes, see that like you're painting. For painting, your hand is an asset. Eyes are an asset. For singing, your throat is an asset. Are you getting that point, please? So all these are assets. Then my thoughts. My thoughts are also an asset. Only thoughts. Emotions are an asset. Very loving, very caring, and also different types of bravery, courage, nobility, acceptance. Beautiful. Those are nice assets. Then we have been given faith. Faith is an asset. Because with my faith, I live through life. I depend on God. I depend on something. That is my biggest asset. I worship, I chant, I sing, I believe. That is my asset. Listen carefully, friends. But then as I told you that day, all these assets by themselves are not assets. It belongs to you. Because of whom an object becomes an asset, that person becomes the greatest asset. Are you getting that point? Because of whom a simple object becomes an asset. Diamond is a diamond, but diamond is not an asset for itself. Because I own it, oh, this is very precious. Because of my owning it, it becomes an asset. If I neither own nor disown, what type of asset is for whom? So because of whom an object becomes an asset, that becomes the greatest asset. So the land, the house, the physical body, your sense organs, organs of action, your thoughts, if there are assets, the greatest asset is that for whom an object becomes an asset. In whose presence a simple object becomes an asset is the greatest asset. So you are the greatest asset. You are your greatest asset. And who is that person? Anybody and everybody. Your name and fame is an asset. The color of your body is an asset. The shape and size of your body is an asset. The thoughts that you have picked up is an asset. The beliefs that you have picked up is an asset. The size of your body is an asset. The creation, the world around also is an asset. But by themselves they are not an asset. In whose presence, among all these assets, the greatest asset is in whose presence a simple mere object, a sense organ, the body, your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs or disbelief become asset. That is the greatest asset. So you are your greatest asset. I am mine greatest asset. Each person is the greatest asset. Therefore, greatest you cannot say, because greatest is a superlative term, comparative superlative. That is, since each one is that, it is neither great, greater, greatest. It is the asset. You are it, and nobody can ever escape it. Wow, it's fantastic. Now, friends, we shall see a beautiful, different little approach. The moment you say something is yours, so you make the list of your, I told you, make a list of your assets. I did not use that word in 1.5, 2 years, 2 hours lectures that the day before. I did not use the word liability. Because in our times, we know clearly what are your assets and what are your liabilities. Understand, friends? Whatever you consider is your asset, that becomes your liability. Do you understand that point? Whatever you consider your asset, that becomes your liability. Why? Whatever you consider as your security, that becomes the cause of your insecurity. If money is your security, money becomes the cause of insecurity. Because if in its presence I feel very strong, in its absence I shall feel helpless. If house is my security, house is my insecurity. If the body is my security, health is my security, the disease shall be, the loss of health is my insecurity. Then what happens? You go to school, college, if education is my security, which in this generation 99% of people feel they are very secured because AR, A, B, C, D, E, meaning BA, MA, PhD, FRCS, A, B, C, D, E. So they have got this, education is their security. But those are the people, how we have been brainwashed to believe, I don't depend on anything. I depend on myself. And what is the dependence on yourself? My education is my security. My money is my security. My money is my asset. My brother is my asset. My husband is my asset. My bank balance is my asset. Whatever is your asset, that becomes your liability. Because that does not protect you. You have to protect it. The wealth doesn't protect you. You have to protect the wealth. The body doesn't protect you. You have to protect the body. Because body by itself is fragile. Its job is not to protect you. Because for the body, nothing exists other than the body. Are you getting that? Because the body does not feel owned. You own the body. Wealth does not feel owned. You own the wealth. Please see that point, friends. Amazing. Whatever you consider as an asset, that is your liability. Whatever you consider as security, that is your insecurity. So in the name of secular studies, when you are gathering so many different types of securities, in reality you are gathering many, many different types of complicated insecurity. That is why there is a comparison and competition. If this education is my security, okay, you should be engineer. Which engineer? 90% man scored, 100% score my engineer, 90% or 50% or 30%. Shall I be a medicine man or shall I be a lawyer? Shall I be an artist or a painter? What are you doing? Different assets. Please think. And the whole life is spent making the assets greater and greater, stronger and stronger. Do not lose it. That is why, have you ever seen, have you seen people completely giving up their assets? Never. Because the moment they give up their asset, they are nobody. No political person, no political leader will give up the position happily. No professor, vice chancellor or whatever you call it, or managing director, any position anywhere, the senior editor in a newspaper, the secretary general of United Nations, the emperor, the kings, the generals, whichever, wherever there is a hierarchy, the moment everybody struggles to be right, and once you are there, you don't want to give it up. You may not go higher up, but don't want to go lower. Think of it. So every liability, every asset becomes a liability. Education is your asset, education is your liability. Fighting among the educated people, who is better? Fighting among the rich people, who is richer? Fighting among the poor people, who is getting rid of the poverty, who is going beyond the poverty. Fighting among the healthy people, because who is the healthier? Competition, Mr. Universe, Miss Universe, the shape and size. Then the competition among the thoughts of many kinds and the belief systems of many kinds. My belief is better than your belief. Your belief is better than belief. What are you doing, friends? Think of it. Nobody is introducing me to myself, who is the greatest asset. Universal, singular, universal, incomparable asset. You are, I am, everybody is. In which there is no competition at all. Think of it, friends. Have you seen the gold fighting with the diamond? Have you seen the richest fighting with the richest? Have you seen the lands fighting? Countries fighting? No, people fighting. Listen, you are struggling for gaining the assets. Please, you are struggling to gain the assets. The assets are not struggling to come to you. Have you seen in the diamond shop, the gold and diamond shop, the gold and diamond are fighting with each other. I want to go to his house. I want to go with him or go with her. No, they are not fighting. You consider my gold, my dog, my things, my house, my car, my husband, my wife. Oh God, what comparison and what fight. You have a piece of diamond, listen carefully. You have a diamond, I have a diamond, you have a diamond. I have a watch, you have a watch, somebody has a watch. You have got a car, somebody has a car. You have got some antiques, somebody has antiques. Now, who is competing, which is greater or smaller? It is not the antiques are competing, the gold or diamond competing, people are competing. Have you seen, as very nicely one Sufi story goes, very nicely, somebody asked the guru, the teacher, which one is better? The karma yoga, the karma, the jnana, the action, the devotion, bhakti, or the jnana, the knowledge. Which one is better? God is this form, that form, God is male or female, God is everywhere or nowhere. Which one is better? The wise man smiles and says, ask a very simple question. Friends, have you seen dogs fighting over the bone? Yes, we have seen dogs fighting over the bone. One dog, them, 2, 3, 4, 5 dogs, street dogs, group of them. Look at the Discovery Channel and all these things. 5, 7 like lions fighting over killing each other in a bone. There is a bone lying down there, sort of a carcass. That the group of hyenas, the group of wild dogs, the group of animals, everybody is fighting over it. Yes, we have seen the dogs fighting over the bone. Simple question the wise man asked. Have you seen the bone joining the fight? People fight over God, God doesn't join. People fight over an idea, idea doesn't join. People fight over the thoughts, thoughts do not join. People fight over riches, riches do not join. People fight over their bodies, body does not join. Assets do not fight among themselves. Assets do not become liabilities. Because of your owning it and considering this is something gives me security, when that something in time loses its nature, it becomes lesser or more or older or useless. For you it is no more useful. The same cow whose you as an asset becomes a liability. The same parents without whom you could not grow up, when they become old, the same parents were assets. Now the same parents are your liability, old age. How many people keep the parents in their old age at home? Same husband, same wife who was an asset, now is a liability. The children who are asset become a liability. The faith which is an asset becomes a liability. The citizenship which is an asset is a liability. Because I was ordinary country citizen, now I'm an American citizen. What an asset. You are flying aeroplane and somewhere a terrorist group comes. Look at the passports. All USA passports separate to be shot. The little stupid piece of paper is a liability. The money is your liability, money is your asset, money is your liability. Because if you have no money, which dacoit will come to loot your house? Which ED, enforcement department or the revenue services will come and attack your, search your house? You have nothing, everything is open. Inside, outside space, there is nothing else is existing. So who shall come to your house? But whoever has the asset, that becomes the liability. Please, so as long as, please friends, you are defining yourself with an asset, you shall be liable to be a liability, all these things to be liability, because who you are is not an asset to be owned, and it shall never become a liability. Because when you say who owns it, there is one thought which owns everything, I thought, which owns everything. And that is the one which plays the game. Very smart. Consciousness, yourself, the awareness. We shall see that absolute meaning. Who you are, do not join any fight. Like people fight over God, the God doesn't fight. Animals fight over a bone, the bone doesn't fight. People fight over the truth and falsehood. The truth and falsehood do not join the fight. Individuality, the roles join the fight. The roles are there, there is confusion. The self who you are never join the fight. Always remains exactly as it is. I shall tell you a small little story, and then we shall go into the board to see what it is. About absolute as well as the relative. Please think, friends, that is why I say, sit down sometime. Just let not the sounds go and create vibrations in your ear and some stupid thoughts. Yes. Swamiji, it was wonderful. Yes, I know it was wonderful. Is it wonderful because I gave you some lullaby which you like to listen? Because everybody tells you are an idiot, you are a rascal, you are fat, you are poor, you are lean, and I am telling you, you are the greatest asset. You are the happiness absolute. There is nothing other than it. This 1 hour class is so beautiful. Because I forget everything. So this 1 hour only. So if this class is your asset, the class will be your liability. Because tomorrow you cannot come. Tomorrow I won't talk. What will happen to you? Make yourself your own infinite asset. And who is considered as a liability and asset? Ahamkar, I thought. Listen carefully. I thought. I think this is rich. I am made to think, made to believe diamond is very precious. I am made to believe the riches makes me powerful. I am made to believe that the body shall be like this. I am made to believe black is bad or white is bad or green is bad or yellow is bad. All these ideas have been given to me. So that is why there is only one person, understand, one thought which drives you crazy. The creation by itself doesn't feel that it is rich or poor. The diamond doesn't feel itself rich or poor. 1 rupee note doesn't feel poor. Part of the 1 million rupees, it doesn't feel rich. I feel poor, I am the rich. That is why this I thought, which you have seen before, what they call it ahankar, aham karomi iti buddhi, which completely confuses everybody. Why? Because this ahankar, please, this is a lie, I thought, please, is a chora. That particular verse I think I talked to you. Kim tena na krutam papam chorena atma apaharina yo anyatha santam atmanam anyatha pratipadyate. Tena kim papam na krutam. By him, what crime has not been committed? Who? By whom? Chorena atma apaharina. This by ahankara, which is a chora. Chora means a thief. Why it is a thief? Atma apahari. As though it has misled, hijacked the truth. Atma apahari. It has forgotten, it has hijacked the truth as though and imposed falsehood on it. How? Anyatha santam atmanam anyatha pratipadyate. Even though this self is all-pervasive consciousness, reality, happiness, freedom, immortal, on that it has imposed mortality, unhappiness, misery, pain, limitation. That is why this is a thief. Oh, Swamiji, that is right. This ahankar is the biggest thief. It's the biggest liability. I was thinking it is wonderful because I took so much shelter on it. I am the PhD, I am the FRCS, I am the rich, I am the poor, I was enjoying. But because of that only now suddenly that becomes your liability, because as it was dragging the youth of the body and making himself feel proud, I am young, now it is dragging the old age of the body. It is dragging the power and the position of the Prime Minister, President, or this or that. I am the CEO, Vice Chancellor, or I am the Chief Justice, I am the Secretary General, I am this, oh God, God. Now the same fellow is becoming, I am retired from every position, nobody cares for me, I am, you understand that person? The same fellow, which was such an asset, now becomes a liability. So this is the biggest chora, because it has not, because of his not knowing its own nature, it has imposed the limitations of everything on itself. Anyatha sandatmanam anyatha pratipadyate. So, I is a lie and a thief. Individuality. Okay? If this much you understand, now come to teaching, the guru, the tradition and all that stuff. Not the understand how it is. You go to not a guru. As I told you, that guru is not a person. You go to a person, a speaker. When you go to a speaker, listen carefully. When you go to a speaker, instead of helping you to be yourself, who you are, if he is adding to your notions that you have already collected, he is going to make you a greater thief. You are already a thief. You are a liar. Not you are a liar. You are a lie. Are you getting that point? The ahankar is a lie. Are you aham or ahamkara? Are you the self? Nameless, wordless. Or you are in a concept, an idea. So you are already a lie because of ignorance. You better appreciate yourself. You reserve your right to be a liar. You reserve your right to be a lie because you are ignorant. The person who is starting life, he reserves his right to be a liar or ignorant because he doesn't know anything about himself. But going to a teacher, shall I be free from ignorance or add to ignorance? Shall I be free from the roles or shall I add to the roles? So the speaker, I will never use that word guru. The one who gives you wrong idea is a speaker. Who adds to your speaker, don't call it, who adds to your different types of ideas, don't call it, I want a guru and the guru misled me. No. This is wrong idea. Never speak that word. That Guru is something, Gukaro andhakara rukaroto nivartaka andhakara nivartakatvat Guru iti avidiyate. That Guru is, that word is amazing. Do not misuse that English word. Everything is completely trivialized. Totally trivialized. Boston Brahmin. Brahmin means you are not a caste, the Brahman absolute, that we shall see. The coach guru, cricket guru, or that music guru. That guru word is only meant for one place. Andhakara nivartakatvat guru iti avidiyate. Self-ignorance brings you the ultimate darkness. You can never get rid of the ignorance of millions of relative kinds. You may know about physics, not chemistry, no mathematics, not history. You may know history, not geography. About geography, not the music, not the magic, not the games. Some form or the other ignorance will always continue. Nobody can take away all your relative ignorance. Do not try it, it will not work. Whereas the ignorance about yourself ends once for all. And knowing which, yasmin vigyate sarvamidam vigyatam bhavati, knowing which everything is as well known. Because when I know myself who I am the consciousness, the reality in and through everything. It is in and through every role. Every role I need not know. But whatever role you bring, I know how to play. Because I am the truth absolute. So the one who reveals that truth for you, that is the Guru. So don't say, I went to a Guru and I misled. You never went to a Guru. Neither you are a disciple worth the name. You are a listener. Curious listener. Frustrated listener. Husband, frustrated wife, deceived friend, miserable ordinary fellow, drug addict, smoker, all these type of things. Fed up of your little individuality, fed up of your roles, sometimes bright role or ordinary role. You are frustrated in the world because you are always trying to be somebody else. Never you want to be yourself. So you are a frustrated person. So looking at it, can I add to my inferiority? Can I take away my inferiority? Can I become big? I want to be somebody. Now I am nobody. Yes, you are a person who is curious. And go to the list, you go to the speaker who is speaking something, and you listen to that person, please. He says, positive thinking. Don't think that you are poor or rich, think that you are poor, think that you are richer than the richest. You are part of this universe. Universe is like this. All the time giving you a dimension which is not yours. That is why you gather informations and you are proud of the informations. You gather money, you are proud of money. You occupy land, you are proud of the land. Why people want to always name dropping? I know the governor, I know the prime minister. Do the prime minister ever refer to anybody and told he knows you? No. But why are you so desperate to say that you know the governor, you know the prime minister, you know this one, you know that one? What are you doing? Is the scripture proud of you that you know it? No. You are proud of knowing the scripture. Why? Because you can throw certain information, Sanskrit language or this language for some people who do not know anything. So you feel, wow, like when people go to, Swamiji was telling very nicely, in Rishikesh there are many sadhus. Sometimes, there is not much good food those days, nothing. So they will be going for Viksha, and especially they go to Punjab. Because Punjab you get the best food. Punjab, they are charitable also. Gurudwaras and the Punjab, they are rich people, everything. Hard-working, rich community. So when you go there, they give you milk, not in this kuti tumbler, very big tumbler. Toir, milk like that, toir, ghee like that, everything big. This lassi like that. So to impress those very hearty, open-minded farmers, very fun-loving farmers, these people try to impress them. Maharaj, aap kidhar se aaye hain? Rishikesh abhyam agatah. They will put some Sanskrit word, so that the person is very well impressed. Oh, yeah, he's speaking Sanskrit. So you will give, instead of one glass, you will get 2 glasses, right? So you pick up language like that. You are proud of your asset, the asset is not proud of you. Like people say, I have come from that university. Is the university proud of you? I know the governor. Does the governor ask you? Why are you reflecting, as they say, shining in the reflected glory? What is that for? So you go to the teacher to again shine in the reflected glory. And suppose the speaker, instead of making you the glorious one, provides you certain informations with which you shall shine for some time, until you are fed up of that little information. Then go for new information. And Swamiji, what about tomorrow? Why today what happened to you? Today's class was not complete, huh? Oh. Same thing, yes. You want different words, but the truth will be same every day, every morning, every second, every moment of your life. Same word will be boring. Same truth is not boring. Same idli will be boring. Same ornament will be boring. Same food will be boring. Same car will be boring. Same person hanging around will be boring. But same truth will not be boring. Immortality, happiness absolute. You are. Understand that point, friends. So who is the greater thief? Ahankara is surely a thief, because not knowing itself, it takes itself to be what all the other thing does. Like aham karomi, I do. What do you do? Nothing. Eyes see, you say I see. Ears hear, you say I hear. Body is young, I am young. Body is old, I am old. But poverty is there, I am poor. Riches come, I am... What are you doing? This I is dragging everything onto itself. It's a lie. It doesn't know about anything about itself. Trying to find an identity. Stealing a role. Dragging something. Imposing something upon itself. Tired. Now you have to listen to, pick up something which will take away this type of limitation. Now he goes to the speaker, and the speaker is adding some more new information, new identity. Previously I was a non-vegetarian, now I am a vegetarian. Oh boy, holier than everybody. Previously I was singing in my Oriya language or Tamil language or the Hindi language. Now I am chanting only in Sanskrit or Latin or Greek or whatever. Previously I was a person living in a massive house. Now in a small place where I am the renunciate. Or previously I was a renunciate, austere person. Now I am living in a massive house. What are you doing? You are changing the roles, changing the possessions, changing the idea, changing your body, changing your thoughts, changing your notions, changing your faith, changing your belief, changing your citizenship, changing your house, your spouse, your job, everything. But you are not seeing yourself. Anything you change, make it an asset, shall become your liability. Whereas who you are is not the asset or liability. You are who you are. A man was traveling from Russia to Israel. He is a Russian Jew, emigrating. He has permitted to emigrate to Israel. And he goes to the airport in Moscow. And when he is going there, naturally, he is carrying a handbag. The other luggages are already checked in. He is going, and he is carrying a handbag. And in the customs people, they were looking at it. What is there in the handbag? They saw there was a statue. Then the customs man asked, "What is this?" He said, "Sir, you should not ask, what is this? You see, this is the statue of Lenin. Don't say, what is this? Don't disrespect it. Ask, who is this?" Okay. He says, "Don't you know who is this? The one who revolutionized the Russian politics, brought back the people's glory. This country has allowed me, this country shaped by him, has allowed me to emigrate to Israel. I want to take this statue with me so that I can remember what a great leader he was, because of whom I am today in my own land where I wanted to be. Now, naturally, the immigration, the customs officer must be, melting. Oh, sorry. Oh, no, very good. Thank you. Please take the statue and go. He, of course, takes the statue and goes. And then he lands in Tel Aviv, in Israel. And there the immigration officer will look everything through, not only small little instruments, with most sophisticated, what is inside your body also they can see, because the country is very desperate to protect everything for itself, brilliant technology. And then he look at it, then naturally this handbag, this big statue, put it down. He says, "What is this?" He said, "Should you ask that question? Should you say, what is this? Or who is this? Don't you know? This is Lenin, the one who brought about this communism therein, the bastard who completely was responsible for torturing people like us. I have brought that stupid man's statue to keep it in the room in this Israel here, and every day give him a kick or a knock or whatever." Now the Israeli fellow, what shall he feel? Fantastic, sir, please, sir, take it and go. So he also goes. See how he's changing. There he was the hero to be remembered. Here is the bastard to be hit every day. Then, after reaching that new home in Israel, he put the statue right on the on the table and has invited his friend, celebrating the arrival in the promised land, Israel. When friends came, they say, friends asked, "Who is this?" He said, "What? Should you ask this question? Who is this? Ask, what is this?" Don't ask, who is this? Ask, what is this? This is solid 12 kilo gold statue brought in without any tax and being caught by anybody. It will make me the happiest man in this world, in this desert country. So now, it is who or what? Asset or liability? Is it an asset or liability? Depends on you. Who or what depends on you. Understand, friends? The world around, the houses, the land, all your material prosperity, the properties that you have got, your physical body, young, old, male, female, black, white, green, all these things, your sense organs, your eyes, your ears, your tongue, your nose, understand, the skin, your hands, your legs, your tongue, your voice, speeches, the organ of excretion, procreation, then all the limbs in your physical body, are they assets or liabilities? Your body, your wealth, your sense organs, your organs of action, listen carefully, then your thoughts, your memories, your ahankar, your I thought. Sit down and see that. Who are you? Whatever is your asset becomes a liability. Liabilities and assets, you can make a single list, but because of whom it is liability or asset is yourself, doesn't belong to the list. Absolute. Absolute is not a liability. The concept of absolute is a liability. Absolute is not an asset. The concept of that can give you some imaginary superiority. That is where people argue. People argue. What do they argue? Your logic is wrong. Your observations are wrong. Your observation limit. I told you that, friends, do not indulge in these type of things. Do not try to prove somebody wrong for you to be right. Do not prove somebody, understand, low for you to be high. Other day one person came and he was talking to me. Once he saw one person here in the ashram was going around and he came and told me, Swamiji, you know this fellow? I said, why? What happened to him? No, he was, sort of, he was working in a particular office and he embezzled some money and he said, how come he is here? I said, what do you mean, why come he is here? Why he should not be here? No, but that person has done it. I said, how does it matter? That was his action. Done, forgotten, finished. Now when the person comes here, visible, why is he come here? He wants to be interested in himself. You mean to say, the person who is a thief, the person who is a drunk, the person who is a rascal, has no right to understand about himself? Can you tell me that you have never taken a little chocolate from your brother's packet? Can you tell me you have not tried to use your brother's glory for something else? Have you never lied? Have you never done these things? No, then don't worry about that. And even after listening, suppose you give me that, okay, that person is like that, but I am interested to help him to understand who is he. This is what the scriptures. The Upanishads, the glories, you suppose, you mean to say if Duryodhana comes to learn from Krishna, Krishna will say, no, I will not teach you. Will the teacher tell him that I will not teach you? No. Please understand, until you reveal your weakness, which teacher is going to know? Whoever comes is received. Are you getting that point, please? Until it is found out. Until it is found out. Then also, please, if you have a person with a criminal record, another country will not allow you. But even if you have a person with a criminal record or a great record, because a person who, as they say, every criminal has a past, every noble person has a future, every noble person has a past, and every criminal has a future. Because who you are is beyond all these things. Why am I talking to these things? Understand, friends, please. Even though the person came and told me about it, even once the person stayed here for 5 years, 10 years, I never told even any single person that this person had done this. Why? What is the idea? After telling him he is the absolute, immortal, all-pervasive, shall I tell him he was sneezing somewhere? He was eating little mango? He was doing these things? No. Who you are. At the last moment of your life, what shall you remember? What are all things you have done, or who you are? Ask yourself. Your asset becomes liabilities. Your liabilities were assets at one time. But who you are, in whose presence something becomes important or less important, that is something always the same. Like, take this and you close your eyes after 1 minute, please, see that. If I am asking you, please paint, listen, please paint, what shall you do? You have to have an empty paper first, before you paint. The empty paper must be there. For you to plant a tree, empty land must be there. For the clouds to come, space is there. For you to speak something, silence must be there. Begin. Begin your song. Begin your dance. Begin the music. Let the music begin. Let the speech begin. Let the feast begin. Let the paintings begin. Let the game begin. What doesn't begin is the silence behind the words, the stillness behind the movement, the formless behind the forms, the nameless behind the names. Let the thoughts begin. Close your eyes. Let the thoughts begin. Let your identity with your body, eyes, ears begin. Let your world, your house, your perception of the universe begin. And because they begin, let your perception end. Close your eyes. Objects far away. Let your thoughts begin. Eyes end, ears end. Let your thoughts end. Consciousness neither begins nor ends. The ultimate, absolute existence. If your words are asset, they will be liability, argument, logic. If your emotions are an asset, it will be liability. Love is your asset, love is your liability. Hatred, vengeance, your asset, hatred, vengeance, your liability. Anything that protects gives you security shall be the cause of your insecurity. Your body is your security, body is your insecurity. Youth is your security, youth is your insecurity. A belief is your security, belief is your insecurity. If love is your security, love is your insecurity. If you are being angry, arrogant is your security, its absence will be your insecurity. Some people find security in being noble and kind. Some people, like a terrorist, a mafia, or a people with criminal intent, they consider power is their security. A gun is their security. That shall be the cause of their insecurity. Who you are, that never begins, never ends. Self the awareness. There is no relative identity there. The Absolute. In relation to body, you say you are a man or woman. In relation to a thought, you are a singer or a dancer, musician, magician. In relation to your possessions, rich or poor, but who you are, Absolute. Do not remind somebody of his limitation and make him miserable. Neither make him become a sycophant, making him to live in an imaginary world, telling him what he is not. The teaching is neither sycophancy nor it is condemnation. By condemning somebody, you don't become superior. Or by singing somebody's glory, you don't make him superior. Who you are, beyond condemnation and glorification. Which is an universal, limitless, glorious existence. See our friends, tomorrow we shall, not tomorrow or whenever it is. Again, I will come back to that topic, that is the last class, maybe tomorrow, about the absolute and limited identities. Maybe tomorrow we'll have that class, please. But go back and think for yourself. Make the list of your assets, which also shall be your liabilities. But who you are, because of which, because of whom, a simple object is an asset or becomes a liability. You are the greatest asset, never a liability. Relative assets becomes liabilities. Absolute is neither an asset, you may call it an asset, but neither an asset nor a liability. Always the same.